Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Sanders, and this is Watch Art Sci, the art and science of watch collection. Today, we're going to take a look at Audrey's awesome collection. And this collection is a couple things. I think it's the first time we've ever had a review of a woman's collection. And second of all, there's some watches in the collection that and a lot of them that are just incredible watches. So let's get started. The first couple I'm going to talk about is the Breguet Heritage. And this one's in white gold. It's an automatic with the tonneau shape to it. And Audrey said that this was sort of one of the first ones that Breguet had made sort of more toward a woman's size, one of the smaller ones. It's a gorgeous watch. And the other thing I noticed is that almost all of them are running at 3 hertz, which is fantastic. I think more of a craftsman's speed than the faster 4 hertz. All right. Second next to it is a Jaeger-LeCoultre Reverso Sun Moon Manual. Again, another 3 hertz watch. Now, this particular watch is one of my favorite reversos because when you look at you can see the back, you can see the movement, and the movement is a shape movement, more of close to 10, more of an oval, perhaps. It's got a very clear moon phase on the front. It's got day and night, and then it has a power reserve indicator up around 11 o'clock. And this one is rose gold. Gorgeous, gorgeous watch. I mean, most of these watches I wouldn't mind having. They're really cool. Okay, moving right along. This next one is one I've wanted for a long time, and that's a Roger Dubuis. Now, this one is called the Roger Dubuis Homage Window Calendar Automatic. And rose gold, 37 millimeter. Now, I work with a 37 millimeter, just in case you want to get rid of it, Audrey. This is a limited edition to 28 pieces. And it's the interesting thing that Audrey noted was that there was a choice if you could either get it a solid or an exhibition case back. I know very few watches that give you that kind of choice. The other thing about this watch that is important to note, it has the Geneva seal. Not a lot of watches. The last several years, most of them have gone to Vacheron Constantin. But I do know that some went to Roger Dubuis, and having one by Roger Dubuis with the Geneva seal is really something. And then you have, with the exhibition case back, you have that, now the big rotor does cover up a lot, but it's still a very attractive looking watch. Again, 3 hertz. Okay, this next one, the Patek Philippe Perpetual Moon Phase Automatic. My God, it's just like, I don't know what to say about this watch. It's first of all, it's gorgeous front and back. You have it's a caliber 242, and again another one is 3 hertz. It has the day of the week, the months, and then a moon phase, plus a 31-day calendar at 6 o'clock. Then you flip it over and you see this micro rotor, so you can see most of the movement, and it's really a beautiful watch, Patek Philippe. Now, following this one is another Patek Philippe. This is one of the more interesting ones because it's a Calatrava that with an opening back. You have a solid back, and then you can open it, and you can see the movement. It's got a power reserve indicator, moon phase. Then 60 minutes down, or 60 seconds down at around between 4 and 5 o'clock. Calatrava. Calatrava is generally fairly simple ones. This is called the Calatrava Officer, and really a gorgeous looking watch. Yellow gold. It's 35 millimeter. Now, 35 millimeter is, to me, it would be someone either with a small wrist or a woman's size, but still, I might be able to do 35. Okay, now these next two, the Omega Seamaster and a IWC Da Vinci Perpetual chronograph automatic. The IWC has, to me, what is almost a disease, and the disease is this, is that they're not forthcoming about their movement. All right, Audrey was talking about how this one was one of the early ones to adapt one of the chronographs and did it in a special way, and that's fine. I mean, it's great. And then I checked on the movement. The caliber 79-261 is 7750, and I just wish they had said that. Oh, this is, we started with a ETA Valjoux 7750, and we did this and so to it, then we added this and so chronograph. Then we'd know. It's a beautiful watch. I mean, it really is. It's got a beautiful band. It has a couple bar lugs, but that's the only one I wish. And it even runs at 3 hertz. Most 7750s run at 4 hertz. This one runs at 3. It's a cool watch, but again, I always sort of bristle at IWC. Now, I don't mind them telling me that, but I don't want them to tell Audrey. What are they doing? Okay, the other one is an Omega Speedmaster Seamaster Planet Ocean. Always like the watch. This one is titanium, 37.5 millimeter. This watch, a guy would want it. Same 37.5 is a nice size that a lot of people can wear. Gorgeous watch, big, great sports watch. Now this next watch is a Zenith El Primero. I'm a big fan of Zenith or Zenith, whatever you want to call it, and of El Primero. This watch is like a super accurate watch, 38 millimeter, and it runs at 36,000 beats per hour. That's a racehorse. It's like, hey, you're beating a rented mule on this thing. So it really is an incredible all mechanical watch, and I mean, I love the watch, but I always hesitate of anything over 3 hertz. Really is sort of mundane, whereas over 4 hertz is like, my God, what are you trying to do here? And this one though is a beautiful watch. I mean, for a chronograph, the Chronomaster, it's really hard to beat. In the lower right there, you can see Audrey, the watch on Audrey's wrist, and it's it's a sizable watch. It's 38 millimeters, but it's not overwhelming on Audrey, and I think it's I think it's a cool thing to have. Now, if you have all of these watches that are running at 3 hertz, and then you have 5 hertz in there, so what? I mean, it's not going to kill you, but this is one of the more interesting chronographs around. I also like the date down around between 4 and 5 o'clock too. Idiosyncrasy. A lot of people hate it. Be surprised how many things bother people. I don't like it down there. Okay. Another cool watch in Audrey's collection. Okay, finally, as if this hasn't been enough, we come to these last two. On the left is the Omega Museum Collection, number 10. It's called an MD's watch, and it's a manual watch with a chronograph in it, yellow gold. Here's the thing, it looks like an old-timey watch, but it's got a coaxial escapement in it. I mean, it's got the best of all worlds. This Omega is just amazing. This is set for 30 pulsations. I think that's a pulse of 30, and it's set for that. So that's why I think it's called a doctor's watch or an MD's watch. Now, this final one just blew my mind. All right, here's why. A few years ago, Girard Perregaux, year after year, about 2, 3, 4 years in a row, they kept winning all of these Grand Prix prizes for this tourbillon that they were making. In fact, I think they won the whole enchilada, the aiguille d'or, in one of those. I think I forgot what year it was, 2015 or sometime like that. Anyway, one of the watches they had, I think the last one was 2016, 2017. They had this 3-bridge tourbillon, and it didn't look the same as this one. It was a little bigger, but it was the same one. I mean, it was the same setup with the 3 bridges. I mean, it's easy to identify. White gold, 31 millimeter case, pretty much a woman's size. Just really amazing. It's the Girard Perregaux Petit Tourbillon. What a collection. This collection is just an amazing one for anybody. And I want to thank Audrey for sharing this with us. And I think it's also sort of like, you know, the idea that women all have to have fashion watches or something like that just isn't true. Any more than all guys' watches or some cheap watch they pick up at the drugstore. So anyway, again, this is, I'd like to get your impressions, any ideas you have. So for that, you might want to add, you know, some suggestions for adding to this collection. I like it so much, I'm sort of like, well, I don't know what I would add. Well, I know one, you know, this wouldn't hurt it. I think it'd be neat. And this would be an FP Journe Elegant. Now, I know the Elegant is a quartz, but it's a FP Journe quartz. It's a very beautiful watch. And it may be something I think that Audrey would appreciate. And not everybody would, but I think Audrey would. So that's my recommendation. Okay, till next time, this is Bill Sanders for Watch Art Side, the art and science of watch collection.